Okay, so we got the right intro this time. Last week we totally screwed that up. When I say we, I mean me. So welcome back to the Backpackers Blitz. It's week 4. My name is Ben from Hilltop Packs. We also have Chad from UGQ, and we got Tim, Mr. Tim Buckley over here. Speaking of Tim, Tim's going to introduce our guest host for the day. Or actually, we have 2 guest hosts. So Tim, take it away, buddy.
Well, I guess the surprise is broken since they're already on screen, but I am proud and happy to have secured my good friends, YouTube aficionados. Miyagi is a gear maker and a pair of true inspirations, Miyagi and Trips. Welcome, friends.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for having us.
Good to be here.
Did we lose Tim already?
Am I freezing up? Can you hear me?
Oh, man.
Here we go.
It's okay. We'll take over for just a second. So if you're just tuning in, what we do every single week is we ask a bunch of questions, typically the same questions, and Miyagi and Trips are going to be involved in that as well. They have their own question lined up. We're going to ask each other a few questions here initially, but eventually we're going to bring some of you guys into the live stream and ask you guys those same questions. And Chad's also going to participate here at some point as well. He hasn't spoken yet. Chad, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everybody where you're from while I try to figure out what I'm doing next.
Chad Jackson. That's where I'm from. Well, my last name's not Jackson. I'm from Jackson.
You're from Jackson. Good deal. Well, I'm going to ask Chad the very first question. So this is going to be my question throughout the day. We're going to come back to Miyagi and Trips here in just a second. Tim, are you back with us again?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. You're not moving.
I'm freezing on screen. This is the look I wanted for the night. Yeah.
You just leave it. That's going to make it even funnier. You have a very concerned look on your face.
Yeah, can we perhaps get some sort of lip moving thing going on here too? So
we'll have Chad do that. So I'm going to ask Chad the very first question, then we'll let Chad take over here in just a minute. So I'm going to ask Chad my question. My question is going to be, the saying is, don't pack your fears, but what is one item that you bring anyway? Maybe it's a duplicate of something or something you would normally carry on a backpacking trip. What is something you bring even though you know you probably don't need it?
Typically, I bring this one item every single time, and I don't think I've ever actually used it, but I still always bring it, which is, I guess, the point of the question. And that would be a saw, because I always have this vision in my head that I'm going to need to chop down like half the trees around me to stay warm all night, because I usually go out with hammock gear quotes, so I typically need to make sure that I'm prepared for the weather. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know. You guys get what I'm saying.
We lost Tim.
So yeah, it's a.
Tim's gone.
I bring one of those little folding saws. You know, the little whatever they're called.
Good answer. Good answer.
Never used.
Well, Chad, I'm gonna let you take over for a minute. You can ask Miyagi and Trips your question while we try to figure out where Tim went.
Ooh, okay. Miyagi and Trips. First of all, I need to see you guys more because I feel like it's not happening frequently enough. I haven't seen you guys in almost a year.
I know.
And we're gonna have to fix that.
Well, that is not true.
You saw him.
You saw me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Michiligan, that's right. I'm thinking Trail Days was the last time I saw you, but Michiligan did. Well, I saw you, but not
I have the vision of you and Jack wrestling on the ground in my burned in my. He wants a rematch, by the way.
My ribs. I'm telling you, it took me a long time to recover from that. Anyway, so my question for both of you is, what is the most expensive piece of gear, outdoor camping related, backpacking related gear you've ever bought, and are you still using it?
So back before we knew anything, we were looking for a bomb-proof tent, and we both worked a bunch of overtime to afford this. But we got the Hilleberg Nalo 2 tent, which with the ground sheet, I think cost us well over $1,000 for that tent.
Nice. Was it worth it?
Not for backpacking.
No. Actually, I think when I was with Buckley winter camping, we used it up in the Boundary Waters. And for a winter tent, yes, it's a great tent, but the thing weighs like 7 pounds. So it's not a backpacking trip type tent. But we did use it on the Appalachian Trail. We did a 2-week trip, kind of in the Damascus, Virginia area, Grayson Islands, and we probably did 200 miles on it, hauling a 7-pound tent around. It worked. We didn't get wet, but yeah, I think that's a really expensive piece of gear.
for sure.
There's that. $1,000 for any piece of gear is a lot, so I get that. Although I splurged just last year and got an entire rooftop tent set up. So
Which is
all in
nice.
all, it was a little more expensive than 1,000, but
I'm sure.
I don't regret it. But I am selling this particular one and getting a different one.
Good deal. Well, Miyagi, I'm going to ask you my question as well. I'm going to have you guys both answer the question. So my question, same thing as Chad, is the saying, don't pack your fears, but what is one item you bring anyway? I'm going to ask you both the same question.
You go first.
I pretty much always bring my chair, even
The
though
chair.
it's probably not necessary.
And I would say I pack too much food, for sure. Food and medical supplies, because I never want to be without at least one extra meal. But I think we end up with the most snacks. So snacks is something I think we way overpack. Maybe not breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
No.
but snacks for sure.
Yeah,
I
snacks
think
is a big one
chairs
for me
are
too.
essential.
I always load up my fanny pack with too many snacks.
Yes.
Okay, so Miyagi, why don't you guys ask your question? You can ask it to Chad if you'd like.
All right. So my question handle. Yeah, he's getting a little old here, so I'm gonna put on my glasses. Chad, if your backpack could talk, what is the first complaint that it would have about you?
That I don't use it enough, probably.
Who is this? Who's wearing me?
What is this strange substance touching me?
And the strangers. Hey,
That
Tim.
is my skin. That is my skin touching you.
Tim, welcome.
Oh, hey guys. Did I miss anything?
The whole
did.
show.
Show's over.
Oh, you're started already. Oh,
We're just
Yeah.
wrapping up.
apologies.
So, can I ask the same question to Tim?
Yeah, and for some reason Tim is yelling at me, so I don't understand that.
How's
Yeah,
that? Is that better?
That's
There
very
you
better.
go.
Okay.
So Tim, if your backpack could talk, what's the first complaint that it would have about you?
Man, I would say that it's soaked in sweat, perhaps, would probably be one complaint. I mean, it would have many complaints. Soaked
Too
in
much
sweat.
DNA.
Yeah, too much DNA in general. Probably sick of being smoked on. It's a battered old bag. That's why I've had to frequently switch out.
Okay, so we all got our questions, and so we're going to bring in our first guest here, and we all know this guy. Here he is right there.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, we're going to throw you right in the fire, man.
Wow. All
What's
right.
up for me?
We're going to
Hey,
go
what's
around the horn.
going
We're
on?
all going to ask you a question. Everybody knows who Rob is. We're not going to reintroduce you again. No, we will. This is Rob. Oh, and your lady friend's here.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, guys.
Okay, I'll ask you my
And Chad.
question.
Oh,
So my question to you guys
Hey,
is going to
Buckley.
be, the
Okay.
saying, don't pack your fears.
Right.
What is one item that you guys bring anyway? Now I know you guys travel around in a car, but what is
Right.
one item you guys take on the trail that you don't need? Is it a duplicate? Go ahead.
Honestly, it's a pocket knife. I always carry a pocket knife. I feel weird if I don't have one, but even on backpacking trips, I carry it. Rarely ever use it. Use it more in everyday life, but on a backpacking trip, rarely use a knife.
That's a good answer. I probably have the same answer as you. Chad, you're up next.
I was trying to be all cool and flip mine out too. I use mine.
It's not a competition, Chad. Relax.
No, it is. Mine's a little bigger. See that?
Mine's definitely smaller.
Anywho, what are we doing? Oh, it's my turn to ask him a question?
Yep.
Okay. First of all, what kind of blush are you using? Because those cheeks are looking fire. Just want to throw that out there.
Well, I'm naturally photogenic, but it's got to be the lighting because right now I just took a shower, and we are at Dead Horse State Park in Arizona. That's our friend Emily. She's a ranger here. We got a fire going in the background. So just nature, fresh air, and clean living.
Love it. So my question is, what's the most expensive piece of backpacking or camping or outdoor related gear you've ever bought, and are you still using it?
What's the most expensive backpacking gear I've ever bought? Well, it'd have to be one of the big three. Honestly, the most expensive one I bought recently is my top quilt, and it just so happens to be a UGQ Bandit custom-made custom ordered and custom paid for by me, and I still use it. It's one of those buy once, cry once situations, but get good gear. You won't regret it.
See what I did there, guys?
Yeah,
See what I
you're
did there?
yeah,
He already knew the answer.
unbelievable.
All right,
I did.
Tim, you're up next.
Hi, Rob. How are you?
I'm good, Timmy.
You are glowing, my friend. Chad is not wrong about that.
Am I really?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, you get some color.
you're
That new
glowing.
TikTok blush, I can see it.
This one's mine because it's got
He's using a filter.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't. So you. My question. I'm gonna go on a curveball. I had a few ideas, and I'm being indecisive. But I'd like to know. I would like to know, when you get off trail, what is your go-to meal?
Perfect. My go-to meal, what I look for the most, it's gonna be like a cheeseburger is really hard to beat. A slice of pizza is hard to beat. But I would say after everything, any kind of Mexican food, a place with good queso dip, some good street tacos. I'm gonna go for that if there's a good place available. We did that one time in Colorado. Stopped at a place, Mexican food, like not too far from where we got off trail, and the queso was terrible. The Mexican food wasn't great. And it turned out the name of the restaurant was Tres Gringos. That means 3 white guys, in case you're wondering. That was eye-opening and entertaining at the same time.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. I'm actually a little sick of Mexican food down here in Texas.
Yeah, you got Tex-Mex down there.
Well, yeah, Tex-Mex. We got some official Mexican food trucks and stuff. What you got there?
We got some chicken parmesan by Chef Connor over there in the Big Shack back there.
Oh, nice.
He's a ranger here at the park as well, so we've been having a good time. Anyway, sorry for the interruption.
Yeah. Well, I miss you, man. I'm going to keep the flow going because I can't wait to see what Miyagi has to say. And I've already screwed up the entire show, so I'm going to take a smaller portion. And I will talk to you soon, my friend.
All right, buddy.
There is no plan. There's never
All right,
a plan
yeah.
here.
Zero plan. All right, Miyagi and Trip, you guys are up next. Ask your question.
Are we asking a new one or
No,
the
same one.
the same one to Rob? All right.
Same one.
Same one. You
All
can
right,
look it up. I'm going to ask the same one all night long, but you can do whatever you want. No rules.
right, Rob.
Hey,
So,
buddy.
Rob, if your backpack could talk, what's the first complaint that it would have about you?
If my backpack could talk, what's the first complaint? Yeah, I might complain about my sting ring, but that's usually an issue after 3 days. It would probably say, I expected more.
Yeah.
Because I go to some epic places, epic views, epic hikes, and when I'm hiking uphill, I hate every second of it. I'm struggling, but when I get to the top, it's all worth it. But in the moment, my backpack is like, bro, are you sure? But it happens every time, and I don't regret it. The people I hike with probably do a little bit, but I certainly don't.
It's like Fog Hat. We're slow rides, Rob.
Yeah,
Slow
you
rides.
get it. You
Taking
get
it
it.
easy.
Backpack,
Right, it's not a competition,
you
Jeremy.
think your backpack would judge you as you're getting into the car to get back to the trailhead of whatever random stranger you get a ride from?
Well, first when I hitchhike, even in the Grand Canyon, find a ride in the Grand Canyon, they always compliment me on how new and nice my gear looks, like it's never been used.
How about Trips? Does Trips have a question?
Oh,
She does.
do I?
Yeah.
Can't
I miss trips.
Yeah.
I
I
miss
hear
the
it
trip.
now.
We all do.
Guys,
Can't wait to see you in May or June or July.
One of those days.
one of
And
those.
April.
April, May, June, July. Yeah.
All right. What's the most absurd item you've seen someone carry in their back?
Probably a 5-pound rock that they didn't know was in there.
I may have had something to do with that.
That's awesome. I want to hear about that story real quick. Make it quick.
Yeah.
Tell me the story. I
Fill
want to
in
hear
the
about it.
blanks.
You didn't actually hike with it though. I think I stuck it in your pack and you found it before you started hiking.
If you hike with my Miyagi, even if you don't
Expected.
know him, he could sneak things into your pack. So be very, very careful. He's got a nice smile and he's very trustworthy persona, but he'll throw some stuff in your pack. So you be careful.
Or he'll sick his son on you.
He maybe.
You did that all yourself.
Good deal. Well, good questions, good answers. Rob, stick around for a little bit. We're going to bring another guest. I want you to kind of think of a question that you can ask, and then we'll get rid of you after the next guest. There's a reason why. So we're going to
Okay.
bring in another guy here. Rob, I'm gonna let you introduce this guy. How about that? You can
Oh
introduce
my
him and ask a
goodness.
question.
So whoever's watching right now, I am sorry that you have to deal with with all of these people. Right? There's some really nice people on this, and there's
My
some,
heart is so full.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So for those of you who don't know, this is Mr. Midwest Backpacker. Trail name. Well, it used to be Almost, but now it's trail name Shaggy. And
Zoinks.
yeah, Zoinks. And his new trail name now might be Mr. Ink because he's all tatted up now. He's got like trail cred, and he can put on big miles, and evidently he can stand some pokes with a needle. So, hey, Jeremy, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm awesome. In Arizona, enjoying some great company and some great food. Chef Connor over there whipped up some
Chef
food
Ranger
for us.
Connor.
Chef Ranger Connor, yeah,
Ranger Emily.
right.
Hey, Rob,
So-
earlier you said it wasn't a competition. You know who always says it's not a competition?
The people in the back. Yeah, shut up. All right.
I miss you, Jeremy.
Hey,
Okay, so
Bucky.
Rob, you got to come up with a question to
You're
ask
looking really
this guy.
smart
You got to
tonight.
think of a question. And
Okay,
while he's
so
thinking of
everyone-
a question, the next guest, you guys could be the next guest after Jeremy comes up. I'm going to post a link. You guys can click that link and enter the live chat with us. We'll call on you after we kick these two out. So now you can ask your question, buddy. Rob.
All right, so I guess this is for Jeremy. What would you say, man? What's the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you on trail, even when there's nobody around?
Wow.
There's been so many.
Yeah.
It brings back memories of two holes real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I don't come up with an answer, I'm afraid Rob will answer it for me. I don't know. Embarrassing. I don't get embarrassed real easily, do I, Miyagi?
No.
So,
I remember my first trip with you.
yeah.
There was, I wouldn't call it
The last one,
embarrassing,
too.
but there was
Oh, I
there was
remember.
there was a little bit of sickness happening on that one.
Yeah. So I'm new to this whole thing, and I'm backpacking with my idols, Dan Becker and the Shill brothers and John Kelly. And the second day in the morning, like 2 miles in, I tossed my cookies in front of all of them.
Now, to be fair, Jeremy, you puke quite a bit of times before your trips, most of your trips.
Yeah, but I don't care if I puke in front of you.
You're like a goat with puke.
This was right at the beginning of COVID as well.
So everybody thought you were sickened as well.
So it wasn't the Girl Scout cookies.
I believe it was food poisoning from Subway.
Keep
Go
telling
with
you.
that.
Were all those cheese curds? Could have been that.
Yeah, or that
All right.
bar food we had the second night.
Listen, anytime you go on a trip with me, there's very little hiking and a lot of stops and a lot of food and restaurants involved. Yeah, that's just the way. That's just the way it is.
Or it could have been the stress from hauling all the firewood from the quick trip to the shelter, right?
Yeah, that was a lot of actual work. You would be surprised how long of a trip it was to the gas station to get all the pre-bundled firewood to carry back up there.
Wait,
It
you
was
guys
expensive.
carried wood from a gas station into the woods? Is that what you're saying?
They
This
were with
was-
Dan Becker, so
Well, this
Let's
was
say it
the
happened.
Shill brothers idea.
All right, we'll move on. Chad, I'm gonna let you take over, and you can ask your question to Jeremy.
Boy.
Well, hey Jeremy, it's only been like what 5-6 years since we talked last. Maybe,
Something like
maybe
that.
longer. You look good. I actually follow you on Instagram, so I keep up pretty regularly with all your stuff.
Nice.
So my question is, what is the most expensive piece of, we'll just say backpacking gear you've ever bought, and do you still use it?
Well, my most expensive backpacking, I don't know if you call it backpacking, but my most expensive camping item I just purchased and I haven't used yet.
yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah.
My good friend Miyagi just made me a sweet canvas hot tent.
Mm.
It's very nice. Even though it was expensive, it was cheap relative to if you bought one from an actual store. So But we were supposed to use it last month, and I got sick and couldn't go camping. So
Oh, were you puking again?
There's a
I was gonna say,
common
sounds like a
going on.
theme.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
wasn't.
we did miss you, and we missed you too, Buckley. You
Yeah, I was thinking about you guys. I hate watching those videos after you're done with the death march, especially when it's in the 40s.
yeah.
My kind of weather.
Death March.
The last 2 years, mid 40s, and we're doing hikes without our shirts on the Canadian border while you're down on the Mexican border.
Yeah. Yeah, it was wild seeing all the slush and it's supposed to be 25 below zero.
I know. What are you gonna do?
I'm,
We still had a lot of fun, and it was. I spent quite a bit of time building that tent for Jeremy. Took about a month.
I feel like I should have added on like a spousal tax because I didn't see him for the better part of like 5 weeks.
So
I get charged that frequently.
He drove down.
Do you have any pictures of this tent set up anywhere? Anybody have any pictures online somewhere they can see?
do in the backyard? Yeah.
Are they posted like an Instagram page?
We
People can
actually
check it
drove
out.
down to the Twin Cities. We set it up. My river was frozen over. We put it up, and I got some pictures of him standing next to it. And I was so excited to see him use this in the boundary waters, and then he ends up getting like COVID or something.
Where are those pictures posted at?
I don't know if they're on my Instagram or not. I suppose I could find them.
We will
So
definitely. circle
Jeremy,
back
you
to
got
that.
you got any big trips coming up for 2025?
I don't know about big, but 2 days from now, Miyagi and Trips and I are going camping very close to where you and I were camping.
Oh, nice.
If you don't get sick.
Yeah.
So-
please don't be
So
foolish.
I'll buy the firewood at Quick Trip on the way in.
There you go.
All right, Tim, why don't you go and ask your question, buddy?
Jeremy, I should probably guess this, but this is a simple question. It's just always interesting. What's your go-to food when you get off trail?
Pizza.
Yeah, I think I knew you were a pizza guy.
No doubt. It's pizza.
So
you
more
know,
importantly, no, go ahead.
Low carb most of the time. And when I get off the trail, it's a whole pizza.
I don't know if you can see that or not.
I'm trying to figure out how to make you. Oh, there we go.
There you
Everybody see that?
Pretty high tech.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that fancy.
It's got a glare.
Trailcraft, right? Is that the name?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Sweet.
Aurora.
Put it up on my Instagram if anybody's interested in seeing it.
I'm really
Deal.
enjoying watching Rob eat. This is fantastic.
It is a good part of the show.
Usually makes you pay for that.
So Trailcraft tent, Jeremy, how I couldn't quite tell the dimensions. Is Miyagi's bigger or smaller? That's question one.
Tent.
Yeah, of course.
This tent is larger than mine.
Okay. Are you going to be doing a cot in that thing then? Are you a cot man now?
I
So
love
the
that.
small, not the big cot.
Oh, okay.
The little backpacking one. And what Miyagi showed me from camping with him before is you build up a bed with snow, and then I'll put the cot on top of that.
So it's
Actually,
like one of
learned that
those
from
with
Rob.
learn that from Rob, the
Yeah.
snow bed.
Yep.
Man, I'm out of touch. You guys have advanced so far.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've been with us, Buckley.
Yeah, it really has. Like
But
2 years, I think.
It's okay. I never get invited to anything anymore, so it's fine.
Actually, I did invite you on this one, and you said I don't do anything that cold.
Hmm.
What?
Yeah.
That
Beggars
conversation
can't be
definitely did
choosers,
not
Chad.
happen. Although you got a
You're
fair
right.
point. I hate the cold, and I don't have enough warm gear to make it work.
Yeah, you definitely don't have enough warm gear.
Yeah.
If only I knew someone. Oh wait, I do. Adam from Hammer Gear. Him and I are close.
All right, guys, we're going to let Miyagi ask his question to Jeremy. I don't think he asked
Oh,
his
yeah.
question yet.
This is
And Trips as well.
this is a good one. So, actually, I know it by heart now. So, Jeremy, if your backpack could talk, what is the first complaint that it would have about you?
If my backpack could talk, it would say, hey, dude, it says 30 liters, not 50. 30. Because I just cram way too much.
Sorry, I just want to watch him eat. Sorry.
No, it's fantastic. I'm actually, that's all I've been watching. I even forgot we were live streaming there for a minute. I just thought I was just
Yeah.
watching normal Pod
I was
Relton.
gonna set up the music, turn the microphones off, and just chill.
What's that called? Like a mukbang?
What?
Come on, you old timers! Good God, Google it. Somebody in this crowd, Google it. A
I was just
mukbang.
wanting some ASMR of him chewing.
Yeah, it's along those lines, except for you literally people watch people like gorge themselves with food. Google it. I can't believe I'm disappointed in you, Miyagi and Trips, that you don't know this.
I know mukbang, and this is not mukbang.
I'm scared to Google anything that you brought up. I'm not.
I know what you're referencing. Isn't that where they like gorge themselves on food?
Yes.
They eat like 300 oysters or like 4
Yeah, I know what
pounds
you're
of
talking
like
All right.
spaghetti.
So here's the official definition. It originated in South Korea, refers to live stream videos where hosts consume large quantities of food for entertainment, often interacting with the audience. The term combines the Korean words eating and broadcast. Mukbang.
I'd love to mukbang you guys sometimes.
Let's do it right now.
Okay, before we get too dirty, Trips, you're up next. What's the question you have for Jeremy?
What's the most absurd thing you've ever seen anyone carry on trail?
look at that stink.
What was that? What was the most absurd? What?
Absurd thing, an item, or anything that you've seen someone carry on trail. Me carrying him? What?
Well, you know, I thought I had a cricket in my backpack on our trip last year. And I couldn't figure out where it was coming from until we got home. And there's a little electronic device that somebody snuck in my backpack that made it sound like there was a cricket in there.
Noticing a theme here.
Good deal. Did I ask you my question yet? I'm not sure if I don't think I did.
No.
I feel like
Okay.
Brady Bunch.
Here's my question. So the saying is don't pack your fears, but what is one item that you bring anyway?
It's not really that exciting, but I bring 2 cords for charging my phone.
I actually do the same thing. Good answer.
Yeah, me
I thought you were
too.
going to say puke bag, but that makes sense also.
Yeah, I leave that home with my trowel.
Okay, so before we kick Rob out, before I watching, I'm sorry, Rob. Tell everybody where they can find you, what you do out there, buddy. Make it brief.
With
You
your
can talk
mouth
with your
full.
mouth full. We don't care. Go ahead.
You can find me on the YouTube, Rob Pelton, or Instagram, rpelton1. I do a lot of travel videos, since I'm living on the road right now. But once backpacking season gets here, we'll get some backpacking content, and I have some gear reviews I need to do. They're starting to yell at me, so stay tuned for all that fun stuff.
Good deal, buddy. Well,
No
thank you for
mukbang.
tuning in. Everybody say bye to Rob. Everybody say bye.
Bye, Rob. Bye, Janelle.
Bye, Rob. We're holding a room for you over here.
Be there soon.
All right, we're gonna kick him out of here. All right. Gone. Okay. Has everybody asked Jeremy the question?
Yes.
Everybody
Yes.
asked her question? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, Jeremy, why don't you stick around for a little bit? You can think of your own question. I'm going to bring in a friend of the show and my personal friend here, my buddy Troy. Chad has met him in person. Chad has eaten his meat before. He owns a barbecue truck, right? I should have started with that first. But
True story.
so, Troy, I'm going to ask you my question first. We're going to go around, and then we'll end with Jeremy. I'll go first. So, the saying is, don't pack your fears. What is one item that you took anyway, even after you went through your entire pack at Hilltop that one day? You tore everything out. What's the one thing you put back in and you drug out there on the trail with you? Can you think of anything?
An extra pair of underwear.
We was expecting things to get a little wild out there. Okay.
We never know.
You wear underwear when you backpack?
That was my thought.
It's weird.
He hasn't been introduced to kilts yet.
Or
Yeah.
shorty shorts with liners.
Yeah.
Or banana hammocks.
Tiny,
if you-
thin
if you were-
liners.
If you're anywhere near Hilltop Packs, make sure you find out where Troy has set up his food truck, by the way. Troy has the best barbecue around. We joke around that it's top 5, but honestly, it's actually the number 1 barbecue truck around. Barbecue anywhere, really. So always check him out. He's at Hilltop. I'm sorry, he's at RGB every Friday. So if you're nearby, check him out every single Friday night, including 2 days from now. Okay, so Chad, I'll pass it over to you. You can talk to Troy for a second. You can ask him your question.
Hey, Troy. I promised you I'm coming to see you soon. I have to. That is definitely happening soon. So my question for you on theme with your business What's the most expensive? I got two questions. What's the most expensive meat you've ever smoked? And what's the most expensive steak you've ever bought?
Oh, okay. So the most expensive meat I ever smoked, or the meat that I just put on the smoker. That's why I was a little bit late. I have 8 briskets on the smoker right now. So those are the most expensive, probably. Prime briskets right now are they're the most expensive. Most expensive steak, probably a cowboy ribeye, the big one with the bone in it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what'd you pay for that steak? And how many ounces was it?
Oh goodness, I can't.
Come on, you don't know this? This is your steak store. You got to know the ounces, where you got it, how many bites it took you to get to the end of the bone. I mean, come on.
it was
101.
big. It was probably, I'd say it was 2 or 3 pounds. And I don't remember exactly what it cost, but it was up $50 probably, $50-$60, I'd say.
Nice. So you're not
for
one of
that.
those like $300 steak type of people.
Nah, I mean, I purchased out one time a bison ribeye when I was in Colorado, and it was I think it was like $65 or something, and it was just
you
that
kind of
was
have
it,
to do
just the steak. That was it. Nothing, no sides, no nothing. It was just the steak. So
Nice.
no, not a $300 steak. I don't know.
Yeah, me either. I will come eat your meat though any day of the week. So just throwing that out there.
Lots of meat questions.
Well, it makes sense. All right, who's next?
Chad, didn't you have 2 questions, or did you already ask him 2 questions?
That was 2. It was a 2-part question, all meat related.
Yeah.
Oh,
Steak.
okay. I struggle anything past
Expensive
1.
meat and steak.
Okay, Tim, you're up next then.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, Troy, good to see you again, man. So this is probably, let me switch it up. Do you offer, this is a trick question. What do you offer for vegetarians at What's Smokin' Barbecue?
Nothing.
That is the correct answer.
We have a pig on the side of our trailer, man. It's all meat. Now we do a green bean, but we put pork in it. So I mean,
Well, you could do plain mac and cheese or grilled cheese.
We do some mac and cheese. I guess a cheese quesadilla, plain grilled cheese. We do some vegetarian options. We do have some vegetarians that do us. So we try to please everybody.
I just had
That's
to pick
the
on the
political
vegetarians
correct
for a while. Yeah. PC.
Yeah.
Keep it PC. So when you're hiking, though, more importantly, what is your go-to post-hike meal? And it can't be your food truck. Something outside of that.
There's a lot, but I like an Italian sub, man. I'm like a nice baked Italian sub. That's what I love.
Well, I could jump in. I think we planned on going out to eat after our last trip, but Troy set off the bear spray in my truck. Nobody had an appetite after that. So we just drove home for 4 hours with the windows down. So, yeah, that was tasty. It was nice. Anyway, so Miyagi, I'll let you ask Troy your question next, and Trips after that.
All right, Troy, if your backpack could talk, what is the first complaint that it would have about you?
Oh, get me out more. Let's go hiking more. I think that's it.
So your backpack must
don't
be
do-
related to Chad's backpack.
That was his answer? Yeah, I guess so.
No, that's all right. We're gonna hang out more. We'll just hang out by the truck.
I hadn't hiked in about 25 years, and so I had an old pack, and Ben wanted to inspect all my gear before we went, make sure I was on, the up legit and everything. So he said, "Hey, we got to make you a new pack," and that was it. So 25 years later, I got back out, did a 15-mile hike, and used the Hilltop Packs Raven X that he made for me. So it was pretty awesome.
We almost
That's what
died.
my pack would say. Now it's hanging up in the closet here, waiting for me to go again.
But are you using an Apex Giant backpack hanger to hang that backpack?
I got to get you one.
Yes. No.
Face of a liar right there. Appreciate the support, but we got to get you one. All right, Trips, you're up next.
All right. What's the most absurd item you've ever seen anyone carry on trail?
goodness, I don't know.
Well, hey, while you're thinking about that, Troy, have you guys seen the new like exoskeleton that you can wear while hiking now? Has
Yeah,
anybody seen that?
Yes.
I'm for sure buying that. Is anybody else on board? Because that's definitely happening.
Why?
Is that what it's going to take to get you on trail? Yeah.
Did you say why? Because it'll make it easier,
Oh, then I for sure need one.
right? It literally. I watched a video on it today. That would be my answer to your question, the most absurd thing, but it was on a video, not on trail.
Oh.
But
I'll
I'm
have to
definitely
look that
getting one of those. I was just buying Troy more time. That was all.
Yeah, I got it. So we went on. This was a while ago. Ben, just before I met Ben, probably. I had this young man hiking with us, and he had a metal first aid kit. It was in a metal case. The thing weighed so much. I can't believe he was hauling it around with him, but it was a metal first aid kit. I think that was the biggest thing, that the most absurd thing I've ever seen in my life was that. Yeah.
Nice.
Goes back a while, but yeah.
Reminds me of the time
Good
we were on
answer.
the Appalachian Trail,
Just gonna say this.
and we were at one of the shelters, and in walks, I think it was like two Mennonite brothers.
Yeah.
Looking exactly like Mennonite guys, and they
Complete
busted
with
out.
cowboy boots.
Yeah, with cowboy boots. They busted out two big cans of beans, and they never brought a can opener, so they were trying to figure out how to open it. It was just like
With
what?
a pocket.
With a pocket like that. I was like, what is going on? That was probably one of the things that I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
did a
odd.
trip with it. I drug my neighbor with us. This was a couple years ago. My buddy Preston always hikes with me. He went and we took our neighbor, and it was the same trip where Preston's tent flooded out. But anyway, the same trip, we got to camp, and my neighbor brought out cans of tuna and a can of green beans, but no can opener. And I was like, first of all, we didn't talk about what we were taking before he even went, but he carried like 3 different cans of canned goods in his backpack. And we hiked in like maybe 8 or 9 miles that day. And he didn't have socks on. He was wearing boots with no socks. And the guy was just a beast. He didn't even care. So anyway, that was probably the craziest thing I ever seen anybody carry. Jeremy, you got a question for Troy?
So Troy, you're kind of the barbecue guy and a meat guy. So when you're out on a backpacking trip, you can't bring fresh meat. What's your favorite meal?
Well, I do a lot of jerky. I'm like a low carb kind of guy, so I look for meals that are lower carbs but high in protein. So that's what I've looked at the last couple times I've been out.
Okay.
So beef jerky,
And,
that's the big thing for me.
and the
That's
other
kind of a
question,
repeat from last-
the other question is, what's the most embarrassing thing you've seen Ben do on trail?
Well, I thought I was going to die last time. I was
Yeah,
struggling.
he hurt
that
his
last-
knee last time. He really.
I held up
yeah,
the whole group, the whole trip, like 2 miles in on a 14, 15 mile trip.
Yeah, and it wasn't so bad, but we hiked up about what was the elevation, 2,400 feet to get where we was on the
I'm
plateau.
not sure. It was a lot really quick.
Going back down was the big thing, and that was a challenge for him, I think.
Yeah, going up wasn't bad. And I stopped every 50 yards going down and made these guys wait. And it was embarrassing. They didn't give me too much of a hard time until we got back to the truck, and then they let me have it. But that sucked. It wasn't what I was used to. Usually Preston's the one that's crying the whole time. But
I offered to carry him, but he wouldn't.
if I'd have thought you were serious, I was going to climb on your back.
I'd have did it if I'd have had to.
Okay, listen, if anybody's watching, you guys want to join us, we're going to be kicking all these guys out here in just a second. So click on that link, turn your camera on, and we're going to ask you some questions. Don't be shy. Even if you're super ugly, we let Troy in here. It's all good. Don't matter. Ain't no one watching. There's only 23 people watching, so you're safe.
Troy's
So-
literally the best looking person on here right now. I don't know what you're talking
Yes,
about.
he is, actually. He is. So
Well, thank
click the link. Don't be shy. Turn your camera on and join us. We're having some fun here. So we're going to go around and ask a few more questions. So until we find someone else to jump in here. So,
There's 2 people waiting in the back room. You got to scroll down.
oh, I see.
Yeah,
it
they've
now.
been there for a minute.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Well, I appreciate you, Secretary Chad, for taking care of that.
I
Good
got
job.
you.
Okay. So we're going to kick Jeremy out. Jeremy, tell everybody where they can find you. Like, give us your address.
On YouTube, Midwest Backpacker, Facebook, Instagram,
Street address.
Camping with Miyagi.
And we just did a video not too long ago together where he talked about hilltop packs, which was pretty cool. And go watch that video. And I'm not sure if you got any views on that or not, but go watch it. Blow it up a little bit.
I saw
All right,
it.
You saw it? Thank you. All right, we're going to kick you out of here.
In a couple days.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
See you there, buddy.
Bye. Okay, so I don't know if we talked to this guy yet or not. We're going to bring him in, and I'm going to let Chad talk to him and introduce him. And does anyone know this next guy? Anybody here? I mean, I've seen him around. I see his posts. I see his. We're going to bring him in. Chad, you can talk to him and introduce him. Here we go.
Bring him in. Oh, his mic's muted. I got it. Hold on.
There he is.
There we go. Stoned Ape Adventures.
Yes, sir.
So before we get started, tell us about your name and why you're called Stoned Ape Adventures.
It's like half Stoned Ape Theory by Terrence McKenna, and just half of like what my content's kind of about. I don't know, like how.
And is this your first time watching this live stream?
No.
Okay, so you've been on, you just haven't joined before.
No.
And
What's up, man?
where are you from?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Nice. So you're a Pennsylvania native, huh?
Yes.
So have you been to Hilltop
The
before?
Yinzer.
Have you come down to Hilltop before?
No, not yet. I got to get down there. I got a lot of work to do down in Washington, so.
Well, let me know before you do. I'll make sure I meet you there. I've seen your name pop up all the time, and I appreciate it. You're always watching videos or commenting, and I appreciate that. So if you do come down, make sure you let us know so I can make sure I'm there. Sometimes
For sure. I want to try your coffee out too.
Good deal. Well, the first cup's on me. The next three you got to buy yourself, and we're going to charge you double.
That's true. True statement.
Okay, we're going to let Chad take over. Chad has some questions for you.
Okay, so my original question is, what is the most expensive piece of gear, backpacking, outdoor related gear, camping, whatever, that you've ever bought, and are you still using it?
My Dan McKell backpack. I have two of them. The large one, and I use it, but it's been last winter was the last time. It's a large volume, so I bought it for big trips. Long food carry.
Are you a through hiker, section hiker, weekend camper? What's your go-to style?
I prefer a week-long food carry. That's what I prefer. But for a long time I can only do overnighters. But this year I did the Art Lobe earlier. Tomorrow I do the Laurel Highlands Trail. It's 70 miles. I'll start that tomorrow morning.
You can do the whole thing?
Yeah.
Nice. I've tried to do it twice now, and I have failed both times. And so one of them, I got sick. The other one, it was too hot, and I'm miserable.
Yeah, I'm hoping nobody's out, and we got like 3 days of rain coming. So
Good luck.
How many days are you planning on doing it in?
5 nights.
Nice.
Good deal. Good answers. We're going to pass it over to Tim. And Troy, make sure you think of a question you can ask him too when it comes around to you, buddy.
So I know Dave, and I got a couple of stories to share quick before So Dave is a badass, and we met in PA on an overnight. I was with my buddy Mike, and Dave rolls into camp well after dark, and just set up everything as quickly as possible, and we hung out and maybe did a few things that are in the title of Dave's YouTube channel. Hung out for the evening, and I got to tell you, this was a conversation I will never forget for the rest of my life. And one of the most fascinating human beings I've ever spoken to. And much like all of backpacking, you hang out with somebody for a few hours, and you kind of get to know them at a expedited rate, so to speak. But
yeah, for sure.
Dave is a fascinating man and a hardcore backpacker. Check out his channel, Stoned Ape Adventures. Highly entertaining, and he does some things that I don't think I'd ever see myself doing. He goes a long ways, and like me, gets lost from time to time.
Oh, I got so lost on the. It's not lost. It's like just side quests, right?
Yes, side quests. Well said, sir. So my question, Dave, actually, you might have. I'm not quite sure what your cuisine of choice is. He sent me some really good food before, so he has some good food companies too. What is your go-to post-hike meal? Where do you go, or what do you get?
I, I, I generally don't really have a post my kill. Like, I just whatever is close by, a local tavern with a good burger or tacos, or I've been getting into salads lately, so big salad.
Salads.
After the Art Lobe, that's what I ate was a giant a bastardized Mexican salad of some sorts. It was good though.
Yeah. Oh, I got to add too, kind of related. He is the only man I've ever seen backpack several miles with ice and a makeshift cooler. Tell us a little bit about that, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's something. So I don't. I'm in pest control, so my summers are pretty much tied up with work, and but when I do go hiking in the summertime, it's usually like just 4 or 5 miles in, and I'll carry a 10-pound bag of ice with a 6-pack. I mean, it's 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 like an overnighter, like 4 or 5. It's I've had my pack, for 4 miles of 40 or 50 pounds. That's why I have the other big pack.
Yeah.
But it's when I come out, it doesn't weigh that. Right, the ice is gone, the beer's gone. So
didn't you bring a couple bottles of wine when you were with us?
Yeah. I should have only brought like 1 bottle of wine, but
Sounds like he never forgets the essentials.
He's expecting.
Yeah, it all depends. Like my base weight for tomorrow is 12 pounds, so like not really taking any much extra.
Yeah,
that's 12 cans of what?
Yeah, no. It's, on winter, like I'll never drink again in winter on a backpacking trip. And I don't. My drinking has calmed way down, so like I haven't really been taking too much booze backpacking. It can get dangerous,
Drinking with Tim changed you too, huh?
What's that?
The drinking with Tim changed you too, as well. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, I did a winter trip and got a little too drunk, and it was 2020, and I was walking up this giant hill, and instead of doing the switchbacks, it was, where Spruce Knob is?
Yeah, been there many times.
So I was at the bottom of the falls, and I walked straight up that mountain.
Ooh,
and it was Thanksgiving Day, and it was like when I walked in, it was like 50 degrees, and it dropped down to 20. And coming out, I thought I had COVID, and I was spinning in the trees, and I'm like, I just need to get up top this hill, and then I realized, it wasn't that. It was
oddly enough, me and a friend of mine did that same thing where we tried to go. We were kind of in a hurry. We actually had a problem. What he did, and I don't want to talk much about it. We thought we would go straight up, and we ended up veering off to the left, and we completely screwed everything up. We kept thinking we're at the top. We weren't. Another crest, another area, and it was all overgrown, rocky. I don't know how we didn't get tore up by rattlesnakes, but we actually got lost doing that. But we were trying to get out faster, ended up making it worse.
That hill is something else. Like I went up the other way. I got lost going up the right-hand side.
So it's easy to do down there. I mean, you get turned around one time, and you're in a valley. You don't really see, like, I can't remember how far back that was, but it was
you think you just have to walk to the top of the hill, right?
And it's like there's another top, and then there's another top, and then there's another top, and like you're just walking through knee high and waist high brush over all these rocks, and that's a dangerous place to be walking around off trail.
It's not too. There's a lot of old barbed wire that's hanging out all through them on that hillside.
There's some on the left-hand side too. We didn't have any problem with it, but I've seen an old fence line when we got near the top. There was an old metal fence line, barbed wire fence line. But yeah. Anyway, I could talk all night. We'll let Miyagi and Trips take over and ask a couple of questions.
All right. What is the most absurd thing you've ever seen anyone carry on trail?
Yourself included.
I've only ever backpacked with Buckley and one other person this past summer. So I've never seen like maybe something hanging off somebody or something, but I don't, nothing that I can remember that's like absurd.
Or maybe a bag of ice and a 6-pack.
Yeah, I mean, probably, but that's all on my backpacks. People don't know.
Yeah. I think it's awesome.
Oh, it's always funny when I have one of those huge backpacks on because people look at me like my first rodeo kind of thing.
Are you
Like,
sure you're not from Wisconsin, Dave?
No, I'm born and raised Yinzer.
We like your beard. So my question for you, Dave, is if your backpack could talk, what is the first complaint that it would have about you?
Get off the hook, like take me out. Take me out or like get in shape. One of the two.
Okay, rounded.
Maybe both.
That was me, not you.
Good answer. All right, Troy, did you think of something?
Yeah. So, where is the coolest place that you've hiked lately?
Lately, Art Loeb Trail, I'd say. I did that 2 weeks ago.
Where's that?
Down South Carolina, a little south of Asheville, in Pisgah National Forest, Shining Rock Wilderness.
How far?
It's beautiful. It's difficult. Like it's probably the toughest trail I did. I don't know.
Very cool.
Like it's pretty tough. 32 miles or 33 miles or something like that.
Wow.
So I'm going to ask you my question now. So my question would be, the saying is, "Don't pack your fears." But what is one item that you bring anyway?
This like a blood clot wrap, like an instant blood clot wrap. So if you poke your eye out with a stick or something like that, it fast clots your blood.
You can stop the
Like,
bleeding.
get the patch. Yeah, I had a friend. We were like fishing all through this way upstream, all through this old tornado section, and beavers were all through it. And he jumped over a log and he put his foot through a beaver where a beaver chewed. And ever since then, I'm like fearful of like having a stick jamming in my eye. That's probably the most fearful thing I am on the trail.
Yeah, and be
It's
by
like getting
yourself.
jabbed with a stick. That's my. So I bring that blood clot thing.
It's probably
Some
smart.
people it's bears, some people it's mountain lions. For him, it's the
Beavers.
Sharp stick in the eye.
Yeah, I mean, every time I fall, I just see sticks like go past my face. I'm just, oh man, that's what I'm
sense
worried
some
about.
sort of childhood trauma at play here.
No, well, it was from watching my buddy put a beaver chew through his foot.
Well, it's a real thing, and that quick clot stuff works really well. I didn't watch, but Trips came running out of the driveway. I was cleaning the car, and she's holding her hand, and she had lopped off literally her fingertip, one of those vegetable dandelion deals. And I had some of that stuff that you're talking about with powder form, and I dumped it on her finger, and it stopped the bleeding immediately, but it dropped her to the floor. It was probably one of the most painful things, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's anytime you see something like that. It's like,
That's actually one of my biggest fears in life in general is peeling my finger using the vegetable peelers. That
Turns out it
literally
doesn't
terrifies
hurt.
me to use it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like the way you're supposed to do it.
No, there's a
It's
guard for a reason.
All right, well, Troy, we're going to kick you out of here, buddy. Do you want to tell everybody where they can find you this Friday?
Yeah, we'll be at RGB Coffee. I know a guy who owns a coffee shop here in Waynesburg. And,
Good looking guy, I heard.
Yeah, very good looking. And we're set up 4 to 7, entertainment, top 5 barbecue. You can get it.
Good deal, buddy. Hey, I will see you on Friday. If not, if I
Yeah,
don't talk to
thanks
you
for
tomorrow,
having
see
me.
you.
Thanks for
right.
nice meeting all you guys. Thank
Yeah.
you. Nice seeing you
We'll
guys.
see you again, Troy.
See ya.
All right, buddy. Later. Okay, so we're going to bring in another guest, and we'll let Tim introduce the next guy. And here he is. How's it going, man? Tim, you're up.
Hey, bud, your audio is off right now. See if you can unmute your microphone, my friend.
Is there something we could do on our end? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, it usually lets us on.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
There he is.
Are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
So Wood All Trails, I know him from YouTube. What's your first name?
Jonathan.
Jonathan. And Jonathan had the esteemed pleasure of hanging out with most of our mutual friend, Mr. Jeremiah Stringer, correct?
Actually, I was over at his house a couple hours ago.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah.
Stringer, the family man now. But anyway, so welcome. Good to have you on.
Nice to be here. Thanks for letting me on.
Yeah, man. So my question, and you're from Kentucky too as well, right? Okay. I love that state. What is your favorite? I think I might know the answer to this question. What is your favorite go-to post-meal hike or meal? Post-hike meal. This is a tough language, this English shit.
I'm gonna say ice cream.
Ice cream? I thought for sure you'd say Miguel's. What about Miguel's, man?
Oh, I mean that's a given if I'm up there. But I mean, if I'm near ice cream, I'm gonna get ice cream. I'm not gonna lie.
Right on. Yeah.
That's like
it's
a
not
given
a bad choice.
anytime.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting choice, but yeah, you can't go wrong with ice cream. Well, thanks for coming on. I'm going to pass it on to, let's go to Chad. Why not? Chad, go fire away, buddy.
Why am I always like, just forget it. I can tell in your voice. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to throw it over here because he's always got something to say. Have we, we've never met before, right?
I ran into you when I was down at HangCon.
He was hiding.
Oh, okay. All right. This past year?
Yeah, this past one.
Oh, okay, cool.
I was there with my
Sweet.
daughter.
Nice. I don't remember if we talked or not, but if we did, hey, again. If not, nice to meet you. So I actually am I don't want to say anymore because it's been a long time, but I've hung out with Jeremiah and JK and them guys for years. So I try to get down to Kentucky at least once a decade. So I'm due to get down there. Anywho, my question is, first of all, who is that hanging in your background?
It's a logo I designed. It's supposed to be me, I guess you could say.
I love it. That's a really nice logo.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Print that on
It's my logo.
Yeah, no, it's a nice
Yeah,
logo.
I've been thinking maybe a Quillo or maybe eventually a quilt.
There you go.
Well, make sure
you
I have a code for you. Save 10% at UGQ. The code is Ben is awesome. This is a good opportunity to talk about that code. Anything you buy at UGQ, use my code. That's a real code. Ben is awesome. And at the same time, Chad has a code at Hilltop Packs, and it's a real code. I put it in today. It's Chad is okay. So Chad is okay.
Okay.
And Ben is awesome at
Should have seen
UGQ.
that coming.
So Dave, make sure you think of an answer too, buddy. We're gonna come back to you in just a second.
And if you
Go ahead,
No,
Chad.
that's fine.
No, go ahead.
So third of all, whatever number I'm on. Next time you come on, make sure you have the shades so that
I've got them. I just don't have them on right now.
You got to throw them on. So my question for you is, what is the most expensive piece of outdoor camping backpacking gear you've ever bought, and are you still using it?
Backpacking. Yes, I'm still using it. It's my Z-Packs Arcall. I'm gonna use it until I can get probably a Raven X or something like that.
Good deal.
I got a 24/7 right now, and I love it. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Arcall
You
is
just won yourself a free sticker. You won yourself a free sticker for that follow-up answer. Once we got Z-Pex out of your mouth. Once we got that.
I actually did have the Arcall for a couple of years. It's a good.
I mean, I like it. It's very light. I mean, but I think I want to go a little bit different route. I really like the 24/7. So
good deal. We certainly appreciate the support, buddy. Can I ask my question next? Is that okay?
I'm good with that.
Who are you asking? Because if it's up to me, then no.
Anyway, good to see you, buddy. I keep missing your live streams. I keep seeing your live stream pop up, and I go to click on it, and you're already over. So I try to watch a lot of videos while I'm at work, and I keep missing yours. So hopefully I get the.
I'll be on tomorrow. I'm doing a pack with me. I'll be going. Actually meeting. He actually stopped in, but I don't think he was there. His name's Rich. I've met him. We're going to do Cranberry this weekend.
Nice.
So I'll be heading doing that.
Very cool. Okay, well here's my question. Hopefully you're ready for it. So question is, actually somehow I clicked off my screen. The saying is, don't pack your fears, but what is one item that you bring anyway? Could be a duplicate, could be just something that you don't need. What is something you bring on almost every trip?
I'm always going to bring probably a Coke Zero and a bag of the Airhead Bites.
There, that's a good answer. It's a good answer. Okay, I'm
Not
going to
sure about the first one, but the second one is on point for sure.
Good deal. I'm going to pass it over to Miyagi and Trips. You guys can ask your questions, and Dave, you'll be up after them, buddy.
No.
What's the most absurd thing you've ever seen someone carry on tree?
So this last meetup in the fall, Jeremiah, we get to the top of Indian Staircase. He pulls out a whole watermelon.
Hey,
So yeah, we're sitting there. It's probably 80, 90 degrees. We're sitting there just enjoying watermelon while these other day hikers are walking by. It's just looking like we're crazy or something.
That's
Love
great.
that.
That's
Well, that is crazy.
All right. So my question for you: if you had to wear a costume for an entire trip, what would the costume be and why?
It'd probably be Stone Dave. No.
There you go.
Let's see here. Oh, that's a good question. That caught me off guard right there.
Actually, a really dumb question. So let's just move on.
I like this.
Okay,
question.
so Chad said something about a kilt. I'd probably do that. I seen a guy wear one time when I was at a hang. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool, actually.
Follow-up question then. What's going on under the quilt? Kilt. I'm so used to saying quilt.
I guess it depends on if it's summer or winter.
Okay, let's just assume it's winter.
Is it a quilted quilt?
Insulated underwear is the correct answer. Coming soon.
I'm gonna say, is it gonna be like a insert that comes in like it's all and it's quilted, made by UGQ?
For sure. Yeah, no, one size fits all. That's should be fun.
One size fits all.
That does not sound comfortable.
Fits
It
most.
would there
All
would
right,
be
Dave.
a lot of moisture happening. I'm certain of that.
Just put some
Before,
zippers on the sides, you'll be fine. Just open the zippers.
Before
Fat
Chad gets
hole right
his
on the
hand-
front.
So we're gonna go over to Dave. Go ahead, Dave. You got a question for Mr. Woodall Trails over there?
Yeah. Wait. What would your what's your dream trip? Where do you want to go the most?
So I want to get out west. I've got a continental divide loop that I want to do. It's 50 miles out there that I've routed out on all trails. It's roughly, I think it's most of it's in Rocky Mountain National Park. So that's probably my dream trip.
Nice.
Good deal. Okay. Well, real quick before we wrap it up here, we're gonna do something else here in just a second. But Dave, is there any place you want people to come check you out? Instagram, YouTube, anything like that?
Just YouTube and Instagram, Stone Dave Adventures.
Good deal, buddy. Well, thanks for joining in. Make sure you guys check
Thank
out
you for
Dave.
having me.
Absolutely. I'm gonna kick you out here for just a second.
See you, buddy.
Oh, I kicked out the wrong. Oops. Kicked out the wrong guy. Hold on a second. All right, try that again. All right, Mr. Woodall Trails, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you, buddy?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Woodall Trails.
Good deal. All right, man. I'll be looking for those live streams. I'll try to watch tomorrow and try to pay attention to my phone. All right, buddy.
Sounds good.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Later.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so it is now 10 o'clock. So last few weeks we've always went over a little bit, so we'll go over it right now. We're gonna look through some of the questions people had asked in the chat, and it's just you guys see anything in here? Let's see. I saw a couple earlier.
Well,
If you guys have any questions in the chat, throw a question in. Any one of us will answer it. How about that? Does anybody see anything?
yeah, there's a few. This one, I don't know if this one is relevant or if anybody knows the answer.
I do not.
Okay, moving on.
Not us.
How
There's
about
this one that he asked.
this weekend? Where am I?
We are going to be hitting the Ice Age Trail here in Wisconsin with Midwest Backpacker.
I am actually filming a music video for a band. It's a nationally touring band. I do some music videos on the side occasionally. I will not be hiking. I'll be filming a music video.
Dude, that music video you did was sick. The one
Thank
you
you. I
showed me.
appreciate that. It's the
was
same
very
band,
well done.
actually. I do about one or two of them. We'll do another one this year. That'll be the last one for this year, probably.
I was going to tell you to come film it at the shop when you put your post out, but I figured you probably didn't want to drive that far.
We actually found a really cool location. It's a guy who owns a garage, and the upstairs floor it's like unfinished, but looks really cool with the rafters and stuff. We're going to film it in there. So that'll be out in a couple of weeks. Tim, you doing any hiking soon?
I might get my nipples pierced, but I'm still on the fence about that. If I don't, I'll probably do some hiking. Right now we're in spring break, which is a really strange Texas phenomena. Apparently, like K through 12 and colleges have spring breaks. And it's an odd that they're coming to Big Bend, but it is slammed, like weights into the park. And not to rub it into you northerners, but it's like in the mid 90s now. So it's actually,
You can keep it.
yeah, it's
It was like 70 here
too
today,
hot.
so.
Yeah. So the Chisos Mountains cool down quite a bit because it's up in elevation a little bit, but you can't get in there right now because it's crawling with people. So probably, yeah, just the nipple piercing, I would guess.
Fun picks.
So Miyagi and Trip, you guys have anything you top the nipple piercing?
They're
Oh.
doing the Ice Age Trail. They
No.
said
I
that.
didn't hear that.
No, with Jeremy.
This will be my first backpacking trip since April of 23.
Woo!
Glad you're back on trail trips.
Welcome
Not
back.
there yet.
You'll get
But I
there.
am looking forward to it.
You guys
Yeah.
gonna film it?
Yeah.
You can make a video out of it?
Yeah, we will.
The nipple piercing? Yeah, that needs to be filmed.
I'm filming that, yeah.
He's
Make
gonna live
sure
stream
it
it.
happen.
I could see Miyagi piercing his nipples on trail.
Are you going to shave first? That's the big question. And are you only going to shave one side? Or are you going to do both?
I'll probably do like
Just
bullseyes.
all around.
Just a circle. Just
Yeah, just
Bullseyes
bullseyes.
is nice. Nice.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
Crystal said there's no such thing as too many.
Well, I guess what I was getting at is make sure you live stream, not the piercing, but the preparation
The
going
shaving.
into it. Yeah, that's what we all really want to see.
Yeah, I'd probably finally get a few views on my channel. That's a sweet idea, Chad. I'll do it.
You know, I'm just here to help.
Manscaping with Buckley.
Can you
The man's
email?
close up manscaping with Buckley. I could have
Like
several
that.
camera angles.
Before I throw up, let's talk about snacks. There's a little question there. So let's talk about what snacks do you guys bring? Chad, you go first.
Usually fresh salmon, like whole pieces, whole fillets.
Live.
And that's not a joke. I actually have done that a few times. Once you cook it, then it's just you put the whole fillet right there in your pocket, and you just kind of flake it off as you're hiking. Those omega-3 fatty acids and whatnot do wonders for my skin. So, what was the question again? Oh,
I'm gonna
snacks.
take you into bear country.
I don't hike. No, snacks for me is definitely my go-to snack is jerky for sure. But I get really finicky about jerky, so it's specific ones. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the only thing I eat when I'm out because I'm usually just walking down to the mailbox and back. So usually one beef stick does it for me.
Yeah, bring your salmon. We're gonna take you down to in bear country. We're gonna take you
Yeah,
out.
stick you out to Montana or Wyoming.
There you go.
Yeah.
Listen, I
Take
will
lots of
wrestle a
salmon.
bear. It's fine.
All right, Tim, give us your snack of choice.
I always bring a carbonated beverage, usually a Monster, and a big go-to for me is good old-fashioned Fig Newton. I love Fig Newtons
you
on
go.
trail.
Those are
Fig Newtons, I
nostalgic
usually get them
beer.
at the gas station, and I'll take Fig Newtons with me as well. But I don't eat them at home, but just on backpacking trips, gas station Fig Newtons.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to try that.
yeah. And Jeremy has really got me hooked. He does the combo of what is the purple bag, Miyagi? The
Dorito chips. He does
The
the
spicy type chili. Or
Spicy.
Yeah,
Chili.
Yeah, I like that combo with beef sticks. We had that for a snack one time, and I don't know. I copycatted him on that one. Delicious.
I'm with you. I always bring at least one energy drink per day that I'm out. So there's usually a few.
Yeah, it's so delicious when you're on trail.
Well, plus when
And
you're
Roger-
addicted to caffeine, you don't really have much of a choice.
Right.
So, Milligan Trips, give us your snack of choice. We'll wrap it up here shortly. Give us some insight into your backpacking trips. What kind of snacks?
Japanese
do you bring?
peanuts.
Peanuts?
Japanese peanuts.
Japanese peanuts. I don't know if I know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
Me neither.
We don't eat those. My go-to is probably peanut M&Ms.
Classic.
Oh, well, that's just a no-brainer.
Temperature dependent, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But what the hell's a Japanese peanut?
They come in.
Like a
Actually,
tube.
I think it was Rob Pelton that got me started on those.
I thought it was one of the guys from work.
Maybe it was. They sell these chili limon with. Actually, Buckley, you should be able to find them. You're down in Texas.
Yeah, we found them down there.
I drove down to the Mexican border. We were visiting SpaceX, and the gas stations all had these things. You can get them in different flavors, like barbecue. But my favorite is the chili limon. But they're Japanese peanuts. They're like it's like a peanut, but it's coated in this dense shell, and then they'll season it with different things.
Huh. I'll look for you, bud.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people dehydrating like Skittles and all that kind of stuff to take
No,
out around
freeze
here,
drying.
so.
Freeze
Oh
dried.
yeah, what I say?
What is the
They,
difference?
they puff up.
Oh yeah. They're really light.
Mhm.
That's the important thing.
It's tasty too. I've had some.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between dehydrating and
Freeze drying?
what's the difference?
I think freeze drying takes like 100% of the moisture out.
And it's a pressure thing. So it's,
Yeah.
it's removing
I don't know.
moisture under pressure.
I think freeze dried food tastes better in general than dehydrated. Would you guys
I
agree
also
with
think
that?
it retains the nutrients better too.
Yes.
Does it? Yeah.
I think it's a shorter time.
Yeah, shorter shelf life.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's actually something that Trips and I are considering buying. There's a product called Harvest, right?
Home harvest.
Home
or
Harvest, or something like that. Yeah, you can get them for about what, 25, $5,000, somewhere up there.
So once we buy that, that'll be our most expensive.
A freeze dryer.
Oh
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There
Good
is a
deal.
difference. So freeze-dried food's frozen first, then placed in a vacuum chamber where ice sublimates, turns directly from solid to vapor, removing nearly all moisture. Dehydrated food is slowly heated at a low temperature, causing moisture to evaporate over time. And then there's a whole another breakdown about rehydration speed and shelf life and all that.
Interesting. Okay, well, we're almost finished. There is a question I want to kind of talk about here for a second because this is mostly involves me. Where's it at here?
Oh, well, what
this
are you
one.
thinking about?
Listen to
yourself?
him. This one mostly involves me.
Yeah, well, we talked about this before the show started. Was the winners of the giveaway? So I have mostly screwed that up on the website. There's 2 weeks of winners that Chad and I are going to contact and give away some codes. Small problem on the website that I didn't quite do things the right way. So we do have the winners that are picked 2 weeks in a row. Third week, I don't know that we actually picked them on the third week, so we got to figure that out. But I have it screwed up. So we're gonna find some winners. And we're gonna post it somehow. We have video footage of the first two winners, I believe. The third one, there's no video footage of the winners picked, but we will do something with that. So hang in there. I screwed it up. It's on my fault here. So we'll figure that out. I'm gonna blame it on Chad.
How about
Okay.
how about this? I'll throw this out there right now. Anyone that's listening to this live stream, send me an email in the next 20 minutes. You'll get a $25 gift card. Go.
Oh, there you go.
Boom.
How about
We'll
that?
see
Well,
what happens.
Yeah, let's
anybody that messages Chad, go to his website, contact him that way. I will throw in the
Sales
Yeah,
at
that's pretty good.
ugqoutdoor.com. Don't
Yeah.
message me.
Email
Sales at
Chad. I'll-
ugqoutdoor.com. You send an email before midnight tonight Eastern time, you will get a $25 gift card.
and I will match that. But you got to message Chad, not me. You got to message him, and I'll match
Sure.
whatever he's doing. We'll go from there.
Let's make
So,
it 500.
why don't you guys tell everybody where
Sure.
they can find you guys? YouTube, Instagram, OnlyFans, whatever it is you guys are doing over there. Let everybody know.
Look at Trips' face. She was.
You didn't know Miyagi had one. Okay.
You can find us at Miyagi on the Trail on YouTube, and we also have an Instagram of the same name. And lately, we've been doing more on Instagram as we, navigate our new reality life. But we're hoping to post a lot more videos coming up in the future here. So, yep.
Good deal. Well, it was a good time you guys hanging out with us, and we're looking forward to future videos of both of you on the trail coming up. Hopefully, Trips, it was good seeing you.
Good to see you
Oh,
guys.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Come on.
Okay. No, wait a
We
minute.
might need to
Before we go.
extend a little.
John, hold on a second. John, please click on this link and just join us for 5 minutes, and then we'll call it a night. Okay. So, John, I'm posting a link. You got to click on it. You guys cool with that?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
down.
no, for sure. Doc Watson asked what the email was, so I'm going to throw it out there one more time.
Go right ahead.
So the email is sales at ugqoutdoor.com. You will receive a $25 gift card from me, and I guess Ben's going to match it also.
Yes.
You have until midnight tonight Eastern time.
All right, John, Mr. John Kelly, we're waiting for you to click on that link and join us. So get out of the bathroom, go someplace that's well lit.
While we're waiting for John, I'll tell the story of the first 20 seconds of my ever meeting Miyagi. I think it's good for this show. Miyagi, you'll remember this, right?
Yep.
So we were in Ely, Minnesota, at a hotel room, and I'll tell you that I was super excited to meet Miyagi because he's one of the first YouTube channels that got me into backpacking. At any rate, so I knew he was a bit of a character by watching his videos. Rob and I had gone and purchased a few groceries, and I tried to get Miyagi to accept a $20 bill. Or no, excuse me, the other way around. Miyagi purchased some groceries. I tried to get him to accept some money when he walked into the door of the hotel, and he turns me around and takes that $20 bill from his hand and shoves it directly into my ass crack. And I'm not talking outside the underwear either. I'm talking inside the underwear. So,
And the crazy thing, I just met the man. I shoved the $20 bill and he pushes me back on the chair and starts doing a dance. It was really weird.
I mean, what else are you gonna do? What
So
are you gonna do?
I missed one part. Was it before the trip or after the trip?
That was before.
Oh,
Before.
great question. It was before. It was
Okay.
before. Thankfully for
That
him.
makes it a lot better, but it could be a lot
Oh,
worse.
thanks, Brian.
Yeah, that would be called the stink palm otherwise.
Okay, so does everybody know this guy here? Everybody recognize this guy?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, bud.
Who is that?
Long time no see.
What's up, guys?
John, what's going on, man?
I know it's been a minute.
I know you're looking good, John.
I don't know about that, but I appreciate it. You guys look great, man. I haven't seen you guys. Gosh, it's probably been a couple years now.
Yeah.
Little gray hair.
I hear that. I hear
little
that.
wrinkles.
I have hair again.
I know it looks beautiful.
Looking good.
Ben, we got 2 emails, by the way, so far.
Awesome. Keep the emails coming.
Already cost
Can you
me
type-
$50. Golly.
Chad, if you type in that email address, we can post it up on the screen there. Just type it in the chat. What was it? Sales? Is that what you said? I'll type it.
Yeah, okay. Make sure you put that it's only good for tonight.
Chat.
I don't want people watching this later and sending me a bunch of emails.
Is that correct? Is that the right one, right? Did I just type it right?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
John, what is up, my man?
Oh, just sitting here watching you guys look awesome.
Well,
What kind
we
of filter
tried.
you have turned on?
Yeah. And it,
Well, I was just sitting here in my living room and I turned on YouTube and I was like, oh, yeah, that's on right now. I haven't watched one of those in a while. So
Well, you just
Figured I'd
missed it. We
jump
had
on here
about
real quick and say
500 people
hey.
watching.
500.
Like, give or take 480. Yeah. So
Yeah.
So John had me
Also,
on his podcast last week, which was fun. But go ahead, Chad.
that's what I was getting ready to bring up. I have bitter feelings about it, so just forget it.
No, so if anybody has had a chance to watch the Backpacking podcast with John and Jeremiah, I got to sit in with John a week ago and talk about the fascinating world of tariffs, which almost got me canceled. I did get one crazy message
Really?
from that. Yeah, I mean, most of it was pretty positive. I thought we had a good conversation, but I did get one message through Hilltop Act's website about it was a really ugly, negative email, and I thought it was a pretty good conversation. I thought anyway.
yeah, I think the thing that I got from it from a lot of people that I talked to was that it's the first time that they've seen people have a conversation about something so controversial
Yeah.
and not be mad at each other the whole time.
Yeah, we had a lot of common ground, and there's just, I'm coming from a business standpoint, how that affected some small business, how it is affecting small business. Outside of that, I'm on the same page as everybody else for the most part, most people. But it was, I'll share it with you privately. But it was, you could tell the person didn't even watch the podcast at all because the stuff they were talking about was nothing we even talked about. It was bizarre.
Yeah.
I'll share it with you. So I'm not going to talk about it now because I really don't want to get canceled.
Yeah, let's not
Did
do
you get
that.
canceled with
Nothing,
24 people watching? Is that even a thing? I don't think that's possible.
Oh, it's a thing. I've been
Is it a
canceled like
thing?
14 times in the last month, so
Yeah.
I've made it my attempt to get canceled so many times now, and it hasn't worked yet. But I'm trying
well,
really
you just
hard.
hang out with us.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
We'll help you.
Yeah,
Get in,
I can.
man.
I'll give you some ideas.
Oh, Tim, I bet you give me some great ideas.
Okay,
So,
so here's what we're gonna do. People keep emailing Chad. He's gonna get you those codes. I'll get you codes as well. We're gonna ask John the same questions. He missed them all night long. So I'm gonna ask my question.
Yeah.
Chad's gonna ask his. Tim's gonna ask his. Trips is gonna ask hers. Just forget about Miyagi. We didn't like his question anyway. Okay. I'm
He's gonna
kidding.
get a new
I'm
question.
kidding.
That's
Okay.
what he's gonna
So John, you backpack a lot. I know you do. So the saying is, don't pack your fears. But what is one item that you take anyway? Could be a duplicate. Could be just something you don't really need. Could be just something Go.
Okay, so I'm a weirdo. I usually take a backpacking chair and like a Z seat or something like that as well.
Good answer.
Me too.
Good answer.
That's not
Chad,
weird.
you're up
That's
next.
perfectly normal. So my question is there a piece of gear that you got recently that you're super excited about?
As a matter of fact, there is, and it was from this little company in Michigan called UGQ. It was a thing called a Quillo. Have you heard of these things?
I have not. No.
Yeah, they're really interesting. It's like a quilt, a blanket, a pillow. It's like one of those snuggies that they used to
Ooh.
make. You know, it's all these things in one. It's pretty sweet. I'm excited about getting that out this summer.
It's like the Thneed from the Lorax. You ever seen that movie?
It
You know,
really
like the thing
is.
that does
Yeah, it's the
everything?
Thneed. It does everything.
It's getting renamed. There's actually a funny story. There's actually one big company now making the Quillo.
Yeah.
Yep, Big Agnes, big ass.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, and they're, you know what's funny is they're calling it the Camp Quillo. Like, come on, real original guys. Clearly, you know who you saw that from.
Huh.
Man.
Whatever, it's fine. It's flattering. Anyways, my real question is, that's actually my question. Let's move on.
Tim,
Now
you're
that
up
we started
next.
talking about it, I'm too flustered.
Carry on, Tim.
Bringing up all these emotions.
Well, yeah, that just brings more conversation to the forefront. My question's changing. So I am definitely going to talk Chad out of a quilt one of these days. But I've looked at the Quillo tons and tons of times. What, JK, do you see you using it more as a pillow or more as like an extra layer of insulation? Or what do you think you're going to use it most commonly for? Because that's my head scratcher when I was looking at it.
It depends on the trip I'm going on. If I'm going on a backpacking trip, I'm probably taking it with me in warmer weather, and that's going to actually be my quilt and my hammock. I love the way you can use it for that. If I go car camping, it's probably going to be a blanket that I wear, like when we go out and sit around the fire and hang out if it's colder out. I did use it as a pillow car camping recently. I went with Jeremiah and Jason and all those guys, and we went off-roading, and I used that as my pillow in my tent.
Right on. And
Did
Chad,
I send you a Quillo case?
You did.
Okay. Did you use it with the case?
I did.
Nice.
what do they weigh again, Chad? How much do they weigh?
12 ounces for the junior, 15 ounces for the deluxe.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's super interesting. But yeah,
It's
you're
like
right,
one of those
JK.
things that you have to just have all the time. Like, why not? Just grab it.
I
Just
sit and
buy
watch
one.
TV in it. Like, I sit in my house and watch TV in it. Like, I use it as my blanket on the couch. So,
Right on. All right, Miyagi, trips.
John, my question all night has been, what's the most absurd thing you've seen somebody carry on trail?
that would be the amount of it's Milos. The amount of alcohol that man puts in a backpack and carries with him on a trail. It was impressive. He probably had almost 20 pounds extra just in liquid.
Because he carries a front backpack.
Yeah.
Back backpack. And I gotta tell a funny story involving JK here and Milos, if I can.
Oh my God.
It's real quick. So it's probably
Look
the
at how
most
red his face
it's
is
the
already.
most embarrassed that I have ever seen anyone on trail.
It wasn't it wasn't embarrassed as much as it was just shocked. Pure like
You don't even
was
know what
not
I'm
ready
gonna,
for that
You
moment.
don't even know what I'm
ever.
gonna say.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
You know what I'm gonna say.
I already 1000% know what you're gonna say.
So we're on this group backpacking trip. It was backpacking with Jason. Oh yeah, he was there. JK was there. There's a bunch of us. Milos was there. So we're at one of the campsites, and you know it's the end of the day, and we're all kind of sweaty, and we're like, let's go down to the creek and let's wash up a little bit, right? So we make our way down to Lake Superior, where the stream enters into Lake Superior, and everyone else is just got a cloth and they're just kind of wiping themselves off. And here comes Milos. He stands in the middle of the stream and he gets naked, just completely naked,
Completely unapparelled.
Yep.
Unapparelled.
Yes. And Milos is interesting looking from the waist down. Let's just say that. And
okay,
John was so embarrassed, and he turned away and he started walking down the beach, and then he turned back around and he just didn't know what to do.
Here's what happens. We go down there, and before we ever went, Miyagi tells me the story about this place you go at Pictured Rocks. There's all these colorful rocks. And so I'm out there picking up these rocks I'm planning to take home to my 4 and 5-year-old son and daughter. And so I've got this wholesome mindset of my children at home and all of this. And I'm so excited to bring these colorful rocks home to my children. I turn around and I have Milos's genitalia hanging out in front of me, and I was genuinely not prepared for that moment, and I did
None of us
avert
are.
my
None of
eyes
us are when that
and go
happens.
another direction. There's no doubt about it.
Poor John didn't leave his hammock the rest of the night.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, raise your hand if you've seen Milos's genitalia, by the way.
On every trip.
There's 4 out of 6 of us have
I
seen
don't even know who
Milos's.
we're talking about. I'm just over here nodding and smiling.
Imagine
Chad, you
a huggy-
will someday.
Imagine just a really huggy Eastern European man, and that's Milos with a
with
with a mohawk.
a mohawk, which is
Yeah.
a different color every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
on
god.
one of our recent death marches up in the BWC during the wintertime. I remember Jeremy, Midwest Backpacker, he was getting this beautiful sunrise, had the smoke coming out of the hot tent and everything. And it's just serene. And the tent zipper opens, and here comes Mila. She stands out on the ice like this, just butt naked. Looks around, does one of these, and completely ruined his shot.
Oh my god.
That's great.
Yep,
That's a
that
good
is
place.
100% like everything I ever saw in your videos about Milos came true in like that one moment.
Yeah.
It is, and I can only use about 5% of what I filmed him because the rest is all inappropriate, and I would get banned.
Yeah.
So, JK, my question for you is: if you could teleport any luxury item to camp at the end of a long hiking day, what would it be? Why?
A hot tub because I'm 51.
Dude, I was gonna say that.
Working on it. I'm working on it.
100% a hot tub. I would love to do that at the end of a long day hiking.
Would you share that hot tub with Milos?
I
Follow-up
would
question.
make sure the hot tub was plenty big enough that Milos could have a whole section of the hot tub to himself.
I didn't know you
my
brought
goodness.
flotation devices in here. Oh,
All right, guys. I think that's a good place to end it right there. It's been a long day. I'm ready to go to bed. But John, thank you very much for jumping in here, buddy. John, where can everybody find you at? Talk about
Honestly,
your
the
YouTube channel.
backpacking podcast is your best bet. I am working on videos. They were supposed to come out a couple weeks ago, and then I got COVID or the flu or something, and there were no videos that week. So I do have videos coming. So if you want to find me on YouTube, I'm just John Kelly it's at John_Kelly, Kelley.
Good deal. And I've been watching your podcast for a very long time. How long has that podcast been on now? I know how many episodes and how many years.
We just finished up today with episode 259. We've
That's
been going since January of 2020.
Amazing.
Have all these guys been on your show at this point? Everybody here?
Yeah,
I thought so.
I was on
Yeah.
in probably 2020 or 2021.
you were on early.
maybe.
You were one of our earliest ones,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I remember.
Good deal. Well, guys, thank you so much. Anyone else say, Chad, where can people find you at? Give us your home address.
Oh,
Or not.
well,
It sounded
pretty
funnier
much
in my
like
head,
that.
man.
We've actually had people stop by our house before, so I should probably not do that. I think everyone already knows because I've already got a bunch of emails, Ben. So I hope you're ready to pay up.
We're ready. We're ready. Kids don't have to eat next week.
Scan that QR code or ugqoutdoor.com or UGQ anywhere online. If you search UGQ, you will find something to do with us somewhere, somehow.
Good deal. Tim, you want to share everybody tell everybody where they can find you at?
You can find me at Hilltop Packs or Backpacking with Buckley on YouTube. That is all.
That is all.
That's all.
And I think Meowgan Trips, you guys have already stated where you're at. Unless you want to give us your badge number. I mean, you could do that, I guess.
Just don't speed through our county. That's all.
All right, guys. We'll do it again next week. Go ahead, Chad.
Oh no, listen. I just talk, okay? I don't pay attention to what's coming out. So you just keep doing what you're doing. I will keep doing what I'm doing, and everybody will figure it out eventually.
I've done a backpacking trip with Chad too, and I can attest to that.
Yeah.
That's
We may
a
change-
very rare occurrence. I should have signed something for you.
You should.
We may change the name of the podcast to Adult ADHD Backpacking because
Right.
Ben, Chad, and I
Yes.
are a marvelous combo. And I'm at least self-diagnosed. I don't know if you guys are fully diagnosed or not, but there
We're
are
gonna-
signs.
We're going to back you up on that
What
one. You
are we
definitely
talking
have.
about?
Yeah,
So, okay, so
exactly.
we're gonna do this at least one more week, which is the 26th, which is next week. Yeah, what? How do you say that again?
Mukbang,
Yeah,
mukbang.
we're gonna just do that next time. No, so the 26th, next Wednesday, we're gonna at least do one more week. We're probably gonna keep going. We'll see how it goes. It's up to Chad if we keep this going or not. It's up to him. He's the mastermind behind the whole thing. All right, guys. Thanks for watching the Backpackers Blitz. John, thanks for jumping in with us last minute. Yeah, appreciate your 11 minutes of support. We do appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir.
Good to see you, buddy.
Everybody say bye.
See you, John.
Good to see you, John.
Good night, guys.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.